Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to pre-order upcoming Force of Will sets, ccgprime.com for singles and supplies, cardodoko.com for those rulers in the international market looking for product, as well as our guest lecturer members Vite Ramen and Full Grammar Alchemist. Class is in session. Hey there, rulers. Welcome back and Happy New Year to your favorite ever live Force of Will vodcast. It's Office Hours featuring myself, DMO73, and I'm joined, as always, by the water boy himself, Paul Reisman.
Waterboy 1 of 2.
Waterboy 1 of
Paul
2.
Reisman.
Paul
Yes.
Reisman.
Who's ready to speculate? Because I'm ready to speculate.
We are ready to speculate. As we get into it here, just want to say thank you all so much for being here. If you like what we're doing and want to consider supporting the channel, you can click that join button down below to become a Ruler School member. It is the easiest way to support us here on the channel, and we absolutely appreciate it. You also can get your tickets right now for the Ruler School Force of Will Festival coming June 19th through the 21st. We have 3 tiers available. There is the unlimited ticket, base tier ticket. There is the mid-tier ticket entry, and then there is the limited 60 ticket high tier entry that has all kinds of cool swag. You can check out the cool details in the details there. It gets you access to free side events, starting prize wall points to like get your boost in for the prize wall, because we got some sweet stuff there, promos, all kinds of crazy cool stuff, and all the surprises. So check that out. Also, if your group has not, Circuit Kit, Ruler School Circuit Kit quarter 1 of 2026, this is the last week to get those orders in. So you will want to make sure to talk to your store to make sure they get a kit for your chance to get one of these awesome Belphegor playmats. You're certainly not going to want to miss that out. Talk to your play group, get that kit ordered so we can get it over to you. Tonight we're getting speculative. We're getting really speculative. We're going to be talking about primarily so speculative. We're going to be talking about the Saga Cluster rulers that are being reprinted in Masterpiece 3, Dimensional Hope. Specifically, we're going to be talking about what we think needs to be reprinted for them to kind of play into the format, with knowing that it's going to be rotation and knowing that it's good, like the Masterpiece 2 stuff is going to rotate out, and knowing what they will need for their core and what kind of things we think they need to bring them into the space, right? Now, again, please get speculative with us in the comments. We have very minimal fully formed opinions, except for Paul and Olivia, and I have a few very formed opinions about some specific rulers. But we're feeling pretty open here. Dominic Dorian, been ages since I got one of these live, and I'm on my favorite topic, crackpot theories. Yeah, we're here for it. So we're going to jump in with the Saga rulers. Although I do want to start with a fight. We're going to fight really quick here. Paul and I were immediately going like, well, we should talk about the rune rulers from New Valhalla. And I said, I don't think we need to talk about them right now. They're all vanillas. They just get access to the rune deck. I don't really know what else we were going to do. And Paul said, well, what do you think we're going to have reprinted for them? And I went, oh yeah, all of their master runes very easily. Just that's an easy reprint for all of them. And Paul said, oh, I don't know. I don't think I want Hanzo to have sealed loop and sealing scroll in the deck. And I went, that man does nothing on his front side. And there are rune rulers that do things on their front side. If that's all Hanzo gets, I'm okay with it. Fight me. Fight me in the chat. So that's my fight me moment. Paul, do you want to explain yourself and tell me why I'm wrong?
So I just remember the feedback coming out of New Valhalla being that Hanzo was by and far away the best rune ruler from that set.
Sure.
And I cannot imagine the design team hearing that feedback is like, well, let's just make one of those rulers in this product alone. This singular product. Let's not make this one ruler by and far better than all of the other rune rulers by giving him a cancel.
See,
and
here's the thing. We're fighting because it's not, if it was just New Valhalla rulers, I would agree with you on that. They are the minority of this set. And Sealing Scroll only hits runes. We are about to talk about a whole bunch of rulers that will be in the same set as him that do not care about the rune deck at
Sure.
all. So
Sure.
I just putting that out there. I think
Yeah. It's
I think letting Hanzo have
balanced.
I think
Sure.
I think letting Hanzo have Sealing Scroll would be just fine. I think it's fine. But we can, that's our fight for today.
Yeah. And New Valhalla being contained all on its own. I mean, let's just be real. New Valhalla also had Rhea Cluster.
It's true.
So that to me doesn't mean crap. I'm just gonna be real. And
Sealing Scroll.
those rulers did things.
This is Sealing
on their front side.
This is Sealing
Scroll. And it was how many times have I heard Ryan Miles say you played Hanzo? Right? You played Hanzo. He played Hanzo at Worlds. He haiku'd with Hanzo. You have automatic
I think it's fine.
Automatic interaction. That being said, you're right. The best rune ruler was Brunhild.
It's true.
Okay, sure.
It's true.
It's probably true.
It's true. Well, sorry, it was briefly Adam Sykehart because of Zeus Alice.
Very briefly Adam Sykehart.
Briefly Adam Sykehart.
All I'm saying is maybe they made that choice and just gave him table flip instead because it has a little bit more interaction.
That's fair. I could see table flip being the thing that they reprint for him.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, hear me out. I'm okay if they don't give him Sealing Scroll. I think they could. Like, that's my stance, right? I think it would be fine. But, like, table flip's a master rune for Hanzo that could work as well. Like, that would be fine. Like, they're probably all going to get one of their master runes. I think that feels pretty safe to say, right?
Yes. Well, and I'm also saying, between those two choices and limited space in the set, are they going to give a free cancel and have everything in the rune support that we're giving to these rulers and going into the future? Are we going to give Hanzo free access to that?
Sure.
And if they are they going to balance around that concept?
Sure.
Because every other rune that we have does cost something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it also cancels addition runes too.
It would cancel any is it any, let's see. Well, maybe it would be changed with its text with it bringing it back. Let me check it out real quick. Hold on. Sealing. Oh no, I need to leave that there. Sealing Scroll. It says target rune
talk
spell.
about Zeus Alice.
Yeah, I don't. Zeus Alice is gone. Like, I don't want her back. I have
thoughts.
She's a whole mess. We don't. So here's the thing: you can print a card that's like Zeus Alice without being Zeus Alice. Like, print something different. Like, that's fine. But anyway, let's talk about Saga. Okay,
save that discussion. I have something I wanna pitch to you in the chat once we get there.
Sure.
But we'll start with Saga.
Let's start with Saga Cluster, specifically Advent of the Demon King, or Assault into the Demonic World, and the Seventh. So we have the Fallen Angels, Dante, Estema, Beatrice, Belial. Just purely at face value, I think thing that they need to have reprinted into the set. And we know that there is an extension rule called the Trinity of Satan. We know that is, well, let me clarify. We don't know that it's an extension rule, but it is, the art of it looks very extension rule-y. Like when we saw it looks very extension rule-y. It's called the Trinity of Satan. I think that card is going to give Fallen Angel rulers either barrier or make it that they are unaffected, like barrier, unaffected by other cards, or cannot be expelled by affects your opponent's control. And the reason why is because they all tag, and a card that is going to be around in Paradox for a very long time is Grimoire of 1001 Nights. That just says, hey, your opponent has two rulers, target one and yeet it from the game. So I think the extension rule can do other things too, and I think it should. But I think at the very base value, it needs to make it so that you are not disincentivized and feel comfortable playing tag Fallen Angels. Like that needs to be the baseline for what that card does.
Mm-hmm. We had a couple of discussions about what the design team might do instead of just a hard like answer to a card like that.
Yeah.
And it could be someone brought up another option in the chat, and I'll discuss that in a sec. But the idea of if your opponent would expel one of your starting rulers if you were tagged as a fallen angel ruler, you get Satan into your ruler area.
We did talk about that too. Like, if one of your rulers
would be really interesting.
If one of your rulers is expelled by an effect your opponent controls, reveal Satan from your sideboard, put it into play, right? So then you just start with Satan. You're just like, okay, cool, done. Like, Satan is live.
I have Satan and other fallen angel ruler.
Yeah. So I think that would be an interesting way to do that as well. So
the other way that someone, the incoherent gamer, mentioned in the chat was just tag 3, which is possible because then it's like, hey, we're getting rid of 1, but you're still tagging 2. I feel like that would just be overkill and really push you to
sideboard Grimoire. Yeah, that's the point.
Even mainboard it.
Yeah. You don't want to have the protection be advantage. You want it to be protection, right? Otherwise, it gets because like, what if you have 3 rulers and then your opponent doesn't see Grimoire? Then you're like, cool, I just have 3 rulers. Like, that feels disingenuous. That feels really, really like a bad road to go down to.
Like I was kind of talking with Jeremy, I think the design team has a bias for trying to make you make meaningful decisions.
Yeah.
And so I personally would really like to see if you get rid of a fallen angel ruler, you get Satan from your sideboard automatically. I think that would be a really meaningful choice.
Yeah.
Because you, as the person playing Grimoire, get to decide what ruler gets removed, right?
Right.
So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, for sure. Going into some quick, like, just reprint conversations kind of for these guys. There's some pretty obvious ones, right? Dante getting Virgil, like Virgilius, that seems pretty obvious. Like, I think that's probably going to get reprinted. Maybe it doesn't. I mean, like, there's a world, I guess, where maybe you don't reprint Virgilius, but like, that's kind of the namesake of the Dante judgment, right? Is Virgilius.
Sure.
So it feels weird to reprint him and then not give you Virgilius. I suppose you could give him an alternative card that shares the name, right? That is like, this card could be treated as like, you could do that if you don't want to bring Virgil into Paradox format, which I don't know, maybe like, we have so many ways that could stop. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so I just want to quickly go through the list of ones that I think are quote unquote obvious to grab.
Yeah, you go ahead and I'll respond.
I think Garion, I think, is a really easy reprint into Paradox format. I think that's a really easy one for Carlina. It feeds well into playing with, giving her the Let's Have a Picnic cards to make her be able to play Garion more efficiently. It leans into her identity. I think we're gonna obviously get more Let's Have a Picnic cards for her pretty handedly. That'll be pretty obvious. But like, Garion feels like a pretty easy grab for her. And then for Belial, I think it's Prideful Rule. Like, I think Prideful Rule gets reprinted like in 2 seconds. Like, this feels so quintessentially Belial. It is standalone good. It is perfect for him. It is exactly his identity. It is a iconic Belial card. I think this is hands down a knock it out of the park reprint for Belial. Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I think Prideful Rule makes that deck work.
Yeah.
I would also say that I would lift up Belial's support. His bird that makes a token on enter would also be like a really good introductory card for new players.
I agree.
To kind of get you into that. Or you could play Choir of Angels, because we've seen, especially the stronger rulers out of a cluster that we've seen in the last Masterpiece collections. We see that the stronger rulers get reprints for like 2 reprints at most.
It's mostly 3. It's been it's been every ruler has gotten like
3 new cards and 2 reprints.
Yeah, 2 to 3 reprints per ruler. Yeah,
unless you're Sun Wukong, then you get 5 reprints or something. It was
Yeah, you got a
crazy.
whole bunch.
um, so I can see that. I can see Asmodeus getting his 1-drop demon, as well as I'm trying to think. I'm trying to like imagine one of
Banquet
his other
Demon,
new
but Banquet
uh,
Demon could come in
Banquet Demon, maybe.
as a reprint. Asmodeus' Enchantment, I think, is a really cool card that could see a reprint for
Hmm.
him. I do think Asmodeus Demon feels like a pretty obvious one. It feels very much into his game plan. Castle of
Yeah, he
Asmodeus
was
probably comes back.
possibly.
I also think if we're talking about cards specifically for him, I do think we see Cradle of Fire, Cradle of Scorching Heat, as a reprint for Asmodeus as a potential. I think this one plays really
Yeah.
well into Asmodeus. It played well into him at the
Do we
time. It's a
see
board
all of
clear.
his cradles coming back?
No, not to Paradox format. I don't think so. Like Cradle to me, I think maybe even is too good. Like, I don't know, if it was a 2-drop, strangely, if it was a 2-drop, I would think it might actually be too good for Paradox, but at a 1-drop, I honestly think it's fine. Like, because we have so many things that can like mess with 1-drop things or like prevent damage or like all these other stuff. But I still want to give Asmodeus kind of that quintessential. I want to give him at least one Cradle, and to me, Cradle of Scorching Heat is the one that I think would be the easiest to reprint. There's an argument to be made about Cradle of Crippling Despair to make you discard because it's in color. Maybe
Yeah,
sure, but like to me it's either white or red. Like it's either white or red that you like reprint. Like
interesting.
the make the 2 Fallen Angel tokens.
Yeah.
That also
So
seems very doable.
that's kind of why I thought this would be a good discussion, because some of these rulers in both the new Valhalla cluster and these last 2 sets, like for instance Wolfgang, which we'll get to eventually. I'm sure you have thoughts on this.
I do.
But how many demonic worlds does he get?
In
Right?
Paradox,
Does
right?
he get Terminus in Paradox?
I think so.
Do we get a straight up reprint of Virgil, or do we get something that is Virgil adjacent, so that it feels a little bit more balanced for Paradox format without mirror and without some other stuff? It depends. I could potentially see them saying that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like there's some packages that are beefier than others, like Violet's package we'll have to talk about as well.
Beatrice,
Um,
I think
Electo.
Beatrice. I don't think it's. I mean, I guess you could see Electo come back for her. I think
Electo and
Wall
Wall.
of Terror. Yeah,
Yeah.
those to me, like new text Electo and Wall of Terror feel like very easy calls for Beatrice. Like just there you go. You're good to go.
Yeah,
Like
it's pretty
that's
straightforward.
really all you need to be able to play into her package. And then what she needs reprinted with like new cards is she needs new Fallen payoffs. Right? She just needs new Fallen payoffs. Or sorry,
Well, she needs
null.
a reason to make
She needs
null
null. She
good.
needs null payoffs. Sorry, not Fallen. She needs null payoffs.
Yeah, we need good null cards
Yes, for
in
sure.
general.
Just in general.
But a Stemma,
Um
not Inferno.
So I don't think it's going to be Inferno. I think she's going to get a car. I think much like there's a very real opportunity for much like Virgil, if for Paradox, that they won't reprint Virgilius for Dante, that they could reprint a card that treat this card's name as Inferno, so that she still has something she can grab. That being said, maybe we just reprint Inferno, and have updated its text. Like maybe it got a rework on it. Like I could see that, or like quickly add the text of you can only play this card if your ruler is a stemma, like something like that onto
Reunited
it.
a Stemma.
Reunited a stemma, just like tack on reunited a stemma to it, so it doesn't do
Yeah.
anything. That's an easy way to fix
Put a
it.
pin in that.
Yeah,
Put a pin in that. Okay.
yeah. I don't.
Reunited a Stemma.
So here's. Can we talk about that real quick? I
Yeah.
I want to be very careful with the idea of let's take an old card, pin reunited onto it, just so that we can bring it off the ban list. I'm really hesitant for that kind of like precedent.
Say more. Say more about that.
because it feels to me like there has been critique, genuine critique, about the idea of a critique of the reworking protocol has been, if you're gonna do this, just make a new card. If you're already printing a card, just make a new one rather than make a complicated split version of an old one. What happens if a player only has or only finds an old copy of Inferno? Well, they won't know, right? So I'm really hesitant to fix a broken an old banned card just by slapping Reunited on it. I would rather print something that says, if your ruler is a stemma, treat this card as if its name was Inferno. And then you have a card that other people can use, but in a stemma, it then it then has that capability, right? So then we're serving a similar kind of purpose, but we keep Inferno on the ban list. We print a new card that does something similar, and then give it a kind of Reunited-esque boost to fill that gap for a stemma. So it's still a new card. It's still a new card to avoid confusion. Yeah, and like Thraxtra said, no reworking protocol during this cluster, right?
Yeah. Well, so that being said, all of the things that I've heard about the issues with the reworking protocol were that card text changed so radically that you might as well make a new card. Adding Reunited onto a card does not make it too complicated. If they did decide to do that, I don't think they would classify it under the reworking protocol. I would be okay with it, but because it's a little bit more of an intuitive errata. But if they don't give us Inferno, they give us an Inferno substitute, I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah, like again, I think a really easy way that you can do it is like you print an Inferno substitute that's a new card that does something similar-esque, and then you give it Reunited, where Reunited Astema, treat this card's name as Inferno in all zones.
Yeah, easy
right?
enough to.
Very easy to do, where it's still technically like anyone can use it. So if a random Joe Schmo off the street packs one, he can use it. And then he goes, oh, well then if I'm playing it in a stemma, I can then search for it. And then you don't have this complicated, like it serves a similar purpose, right?
Yeah. I think either way, both of those things are totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going from our fallen angel rulers, actually the last thing I want to say about this is,
sure,
do we get Erythropia Stone? I don't think we're getting Satan Stone.
The God's Art Stone?
Are we getting the God's Art Stone to reset God's Art?
I could see I could see that. I could see the God's Art Stone being reprinted. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah. No, I think that's a fair reprint for them. I also will say, in general, for Saga Cluster, what I would love to see reprinted into Paradox is the Witches. Just all of them.
Maybe besides
like blue, green, red. The blue, green, red Witches. Anti-burn, anti-tap down, anti-recover.
Like, and Pointy Hat Witch.
And Pointy Hat Witch. Like, I would love to see those getting reprinted, because Witch of the Fallen Kingdom is in the format already.
You almost did it. You almost said it.
What did I do?
Yeah.
What did I almost say?
You almost said Witch of the Black Forest.
Witch of the Black Forest. Witch of the Black Forest is in the format. So Witch of the Fallen Kingdom is in the format already because she's in Trinity Cluster. Yes. So like that seems like a really easy include, right? Like those are just very easy to include and be like, oh, we're gonna bring this flashback for
your
a bit.
Witch package.
Just let it have it. Like bring Witch Box back. I wouldn't mind the Witch Box concept being introduced into Paradox again, because
certainly not.
We get to 5 stones pretty conveniently. So I'm like, sure.
It also retroactively supports Trinity Cluster in that way too.
Yes. Yes, it does.
So I mean, like that's a good way of getting more value out of a masterpiece collection.
Yeah.
So I don't hate that.
So let's go into these other rulers. I'm gonna let you kind of gush a little bit. Take me along for the ride. Bring me downtown to wherever Olivia's going. So where do you want to
We're
go?
gonna start. We're gonna start with Faria.
Oh, we're gonna start.
We
with
gotta woo bar this correctly.
Faria. Okay, we're gonna.
We gotta start with Faria.
Sword Faria.
We're gonna woo bar this the correct way.
Let's talk about it.
So I think Sword Faria. We should get Charlotte.
The
1-drop Charlotte.
The 1-drop
that when you
Charlotte.
put a guidance counter on her,
Future of the
you
Sacred
get additional
Spirits.
benefits. Yeah.
Okay.
This one, I think this card never got a real good chance to shine, but I think it's really, really good. It also serves a story function in that, Charlotte goes with him and inherits the 7th power.
Right.
So, do we see those events in this version of events or not? That's a great question. And then, do we see the other heroes get reprinted too? Because again, like her package is actually pretty significant. Do we see Schrodinger?
I think if we're talking about, because we have to be mindful about these cards being printed into Paradox, right? That's the biggest thing.
Exactly.
Because in Wanderer, full stop, right? In Wanderer, none of the reprints from Masterpiece 2 mattered. None of them. Because, we all already had access to them anyway. Who cares, right? So none of them matter. They purely speak to what the deck will then do in Paradox. I don't think you can reprint Flame Hero.
Absolutely not.
It goes against the spirit of, I think, what Paradox is supposed to be. I don't think you can reprint Flame Hero at all. I could see them reprinting Wind Hero, though.
I could see Wind Hero potentially. Blue Hero for sure.
Hero of Wind, I think, is a pretty easy reprint here, alongside Charlotte, just because, again, it serves a similar kind of thing. It lets her play more of a tempo, applying pressure to board and then recovering so that she can interact, which makes her feel more like a tempo mid-range build, which I think is where they would want to stick her in Paradox. So I think that fits to me. That Hero of Wind would be a really easy reprint for her.
I think there's a real chance we see Lenneth as well. Potentially. That's our one that gets a hero from deck and puts it into the field with a guidance counter on it.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty iconic aspect of her playline. Just cheating in Lenneth and making that whole thing happen.
I could see that for sure. I think what she needs. Let me remember how Sword Faria works. Just real quick. I think very easily you could give her a sub-ruler that lets her not have to call stone. That lets her call stone while recovered. Ambrosia kind of can serve that purpose a little bit because you can play it and she'd be solo mode. So it can kind of serve something similar. So I'm not entirely sure if you would need to give her something like that. She needs new heroes. She needs new heroes. If we're not giving her Flame Hero in Paradox, which I don't think you can, I think she needs. Weirdly, I think she needs the same kind of thing that Fox needs. Is that she needs a way to be able to flip comfortably, without flip more. Sorry, let me rephrase this. Flip in more situations more comfortably, and not having to call stone is a really good way to do that. Right? I think she needs a good enabler. I think she needs a good card to turn things on, whether that be cheat into field based on and burn guidance counters on things to cheat other ones into field or something like that. And then she needs a new payoff, which we need a new hero for her to grab. So very similarly to how Fox needed the sub ruler for being able to call stone. Chubby Five-Tailed Fox was the enabler, and then payoff was Valraven, right? You need that same 3-point prong, I think, for her to serve a similar purpose. I think she fills a very similar tempo niche, mainly because White in general just has so many good tools right now in Paradox that I don't think you need to give her that much else. I think you need to reinforce her core engine, and all of the other good White stuff will just naturally help her.
Yeah, sure. I could see that. Not too many notes there. Just definitely not red hero. We do not need shine hero to burn the board and just do lethal lines out of nowhere.
Yeah, no,
we have
thank you.
Gilgamesh for that. That being said, I would like to see a way for Sword Faria to see some additional cards. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
We've seen that this design team kind of likes aggro decks to have an economic mode so that they could still have gas to throw things at you. So hopefully we see something like that. I think you could easily comfortably give us Darkness Hero because he was in this really weird niche.
Yeah. Also very optional.
Yeah.
Yeah. For not necessarily my first choice reprint, but certainly an option.
What about Violet though?
Okay, so let's talk about Violet. This is also like, again, this is going to serve very similar purposes. I think you have to reprint Atomic Bahamut. I think that is a mandatory reprint for her. I think in Paradox, that's already going to be incredibly hard for her to do. Just because she's going to have so few atoms. Like if we think about the number of reprints that are going to exist, right? It's going to be hard for them to get you a comfortable 5 atoms, right? So easy reprints to me is Atomic Bahamut, Tiny Violet, and her stone. Or sorry, no, it has to be Atomic Bahamut and the stone, and then an atom.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, it feels like Violet is gonna demand a lot of reprints. Just because like her whole suite was like so self-contained.
Yeah.
I agree that we're probably gonna see Gradius.
I think Gradius. Like if we're conceding,
Aegis probably fine. Void probably fine.
If we're conceding that we get if we're conceding that we're gonna get 4 reprints per ruler, like let's just concede that, right? I think that's too many.
Sure.
I think that's
That'd be ideal.
I think that's too many, but like I think we can concede that that's what we're looking for, right? I think it's her stone because it counts as an atom. I think it's Atomic Bahamut. I think it's Gradius, and then I think it's probably either Dark Prom or Brave Force. Because then you give her draw power.
We're not reprinting Eternal Wind.
We're not reprinting Eternal Winds into the format. I think it's Brave Force. The other one that you could reprint realistically is Tachyon. Like I think Brave Force is probably being included. I don't know. It just feels good to reprint for her. I think it's probably going to be if we're talking about 2 atoms being reprinted besides the stone. I think it's Utility Stone and Removal Stone, which are Utility Atom and Removal Atom. So Gradius feels like an obvious choice for the Removal Atom. It's either Gradius or Aegis, like one of those 2. Right? Because then it can kind of pop different things. Like, that's fine. And in a world of Regalia, I wouldn't hate having Aegis back.
It only hits editions.
Oh, right. It only hits editions. Never mind.
So the new Adam has to
so no, that's very true. I think she gets 2 new Adams, and I think she gets a new Violet.
Yeah, potentially.
I think she gets a new thing that counts as Violet, and then she gets 2 new Adams. So,
yeah, Gradius needs to exist in this format. I 100% agree.
Yeah, I like being able to remove
another
Eternal.
way of
removing
getting
Eternal.
rid of Eternal.
And Aegis.
Yeah.
Although it'll be quick cast.
Um,
No,
yeah,
unfortunately.
I could see them reprinting Hellfire potentially too, but that's a different discussion.
That's a dual cluster card.
Potentially,
That's a dual cluster card. So
Hellfire is not a. It is it?
Hellfire is
No, I'm pretty sure.
absolutely a dual cluster card. It was
Search
reprinted.
that card. Search that card.
Hellfire of the Demonic World is
Hellfire of the Demonic World.
printed in. Oh, that's the ABC version. Printed in Game of Gods Reloaded. That seems like dual cluster to me.
I guess we're not getting that card.
Got him. Got him.
Got it.
No Atomic Bahamut. I think so. Hear me out on this, Robert. This, I mean, we can critique if she
Yeah, we could argue about this.
if in Paradox she has exactly 5 atoms and one of them is the stone, and then she doesn't have heart to heart or turbulence, that makes Bahamut infinitely harder to get to resolve, which is fine. Which is just fine. He just becomes a strong boss monster. And so you might actually just see him do stuff. Because also, Atomic Bahamut here it is literally just a 40/40 that she gets to make discounted. So, like, if she doesn't have if she has exactly 5 atoms in Paradox and she doesn't see all exact 5 of them, then, like, this card does nothing. So I think that
Okay.
is so. Hear me out, Robert. The difference here between Flame Hero and Atomic Bahamut is, again, ease of access. Huge part of it. Huge part of it is ease of access. You naturally get to Flame Hero by playing the game, and then alongside Flame Hero, you also have to deal with Faria and everything else. And what we're talking about here is, in Paradox, this would be a puzzle to build, because you would have to get all 5 with no Tiny Violet, with no heart-to-heart talk, with no Everfrost. One of them would be locked in your stone deck. Like, it would be a lot harder to get to Atomic Bahamut in that environment, and you wouldn't be doing anything else. You would just be trying to build the Atomic Bahamut puzzle.
Also, yeah, Spirit of the Mirage Ruins. We want to have Shaman. We still have you staring at.
Crownstone would make it a very
will-
protected card for sure. At least its body would
that's-
be.
Yeah, Crownstone would help a lot. But we also have things like Reflections that can just stop it as well.
Well, it wouldn't be able, like, the problem with that is if you use Crownstone to pay for it. But again, at that point in time, it is a puzzle that she has to solve, because it would require her to sack a stone. Like it's not just, oops, I have 5 atoms, you're dead. It's, oh, I worked my way up to building to this, and it becomes a late game bomb rather than a I killed you immediately bomb, because all of her acceleration is gone. Because you'll notice I did not say reprint Tiny Violet. I said she's going to get a new counts as Violet card. It's not going to be Tiny Violet.
So hear me out. I have some evidence for this.
I'm listening.
Let me lay it out.
I'm here for it.
What if we're not getting Atomic Bahamut, but we're still getting a kind of bomb that is treated as Violet? And the reason I say that is because they've already reprinted Bahamut in a Memoria collection.
Maybe. I don't know. I
don't know.
Violet is still
I could
a
see
threat.
something.
Well, so the thing is,
red,
Robert.
Blue, Violet.
Here's the thing, Violet. Here's the thing, Robert. We want her to be competitive. That's the point. Like, we want Violet to be a competitive deck, and so letting her have Atomic Bahamut helps that, but you don't make her the same as she was before in the Paradox format by making it a lot harder to get to, like, significantly harder. And then what if she just doesn't hit the stone? What if someone calls? What if someone uses brain turn on, please? What if someone uses Academy Grounds and calls the stone? Crap. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's just, like, it becomes a puzzle she has to solve where the answer, the finishing touch of the puzzle is Atomic Muhammad kills you. But that takes her time. There like really isn't a quote, in my opinion, without Tiny Violent and without Heart to Heart Talk, there is no God hand that hyper accelerates this because you also don't have atomic turbulence. like you're gassing yourself. Like the God hand is tapping out every turn to throw an atom as fast as possible, and then your opponent goes, "That's cute." Like, you know what I mean?
Immediately counter it.
Yeah, like immediately get punished. So I'm
Yeah.
not as worried about it.
Yeah. So, this is why
Ice
I was
shards.
like,
Yeah,
we should
also
talk
ice
about
shards.
this.
Yeah, ice shards
Also,
exist.
Ice shards is a hard counter. That's why I wanted to talk about this because at the end of the day, it's like, how do these rulers function with less of a kit if we maintain the precedent that we've set in older Masterpiece collections?
Right.
That being said, we don't have as many rulers in
It's like one or two
this
less.
Masterpiece collection. And I would argue that Dante doesn't need support other than a Virgil card.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So like there might be a little bit more room. And the rune rulers you may not have to support nearly
and
as much.
You also can overlap the you can overlap the support between the fallen angels because they're all supposed to tag, right? So it gives them a little bit more, like, they're naturally, as long as you give them something that protects their tag, they're like, their whole game plan and gimmick from the beginning was let's overlap our support. So you don't necessarily need to give each of them as many cards because the whole point is by tagging them together you're getting use of both of their new cards.
Yes,
for sure. Are we talking about your lady or are we talking about her last?
we're talking about my lady.
Okay.
So
Olivia.
actually in this cluster currently has a crap ton of really good support. I was actually just building a Paradox version of her, which is how we got to this
Conversation.
how we got to this topic tonight, because I was like, I'm interested to see the way that I build Olivia. We have a lot of corollaries that have been released since that are very, very similar to some of those cards. So really the only thing that I would anticipate that we potentially get back for sure is we are getting Dolly.
Yeah, duh.
We have to get
on
Dolly.
the card.
I would also say there are way too many cards that are 2-cost water resonators or chance to not have Thunder Empress's Strike back in the format either.
Yeah, that's probably fine. Thunder Empress's Strike is probably fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's be real. It's fine.
Yeah, Thunder Empress's Strike.
The real question then is, if she does get another card, is it going to be Surging Lightning, which gets around Aegis and Barrier, because it doesn't target?
I could see that. Honestly, I could see those 3 cards being her reprints: Surging Lightning, Thunder Empress's Strike, and Dolly.
Well, hold on. Or are we doing Pulsing Thunder to get rid of all resonators or all additions in Regalia? Or are we getting all of them? I mean, the dream scenario would be we get all of them.
All 4 of them. I could see Pulsing Thunder come back because it doesn't get around Eternals, and then Eternal is still good against her, right?
Yeah.
Because it destroys.
Yes.
Like, that seems very possible. Dolly seems like an obvious, like, that's just going to be an obvious one.
Yeah, Dolly's going to happen.
Like, it's on the card. If you want Masterpiece, like, that's the thing here that we have to talk about is, like, real talk, full transparency. Any Masterpiece collection where a ruler names a card needs that card in it. Like, it just has to have that card in the Masterpiece center. Like, it just has to. Or in the case of like we said before with Inferno and Virgilius, like an alternative that shares the name kind of thing through the reunited text. Like, you have to have something that ties to it, right? Could you imagine cracking open like a case of Masterpiece 2 or 3, and you're like, awesome, Olivia seems sick. It gets to grab this card called Dolly. I don't pull a single copy of that card. What does it do? You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to do that. Like, that's not going to happen.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah, so that seems pretty obvious.
They're not going to do that.
So what does Olivia what new cards do you think she actually needs? Because I am very
So
curious about this. With all of the new stuff that she's been given, 2-cost water resonators, all these other things, what does Olivia need to be competitive?
So I think she needs a finisher resonator that
Sure.
is not Terra Thunderfish.
Because we're not reprinting Terra
Um,
Thunderfish in this scenario.
so we're not reprinting Terra Thunderfish, but also Terra Thunderfish has not aged well as a resonator. Patrick can fight me on
Ooh.
that, but I don't think he's. I think we need a different Thunderfish that has some sort of innate protection associated with it.
Yeah.
Already, the only protection that he has is this card cannot be canceled. We have moved away from cancels in Force of Will for the most part.
Yeah.
It's
And with with
I think it's
Crownstone,
mixed.
that can be replicated on something different.
Yeah. Um, so I think we need a different finisher, and then I think we need another 2-cost chant or
Sure.
resonator alongside her, just to be able to fill a niche. I'm not really sure what that niche would be. That being said, Lightning Passion, I've seen absolutely no reason to run that card. Call from the Depths is a really good way of making a token or getting rid of cards in your opponent's hand. Omega Thunderfish confirmed, correct.
Yeah, a quick cast. I could see a quick cast fish coming in for her, right? Um,
Yeah.
like Fish Drive is not quick cast. None of the other ones are quick casts. I could see a finisher for her being like an expensive. Um,
Like a 3 or 4 cost.
I could see it being I could.
That gets cheaper potentially.
Here's the. I'm gonna go out on a crazy limb here, right? Absolutely
We need
crazy.
fish support.
Here's um here's my crazy limb for her. I want a fish that has quick cast that gets discounted during your opponent's turn for every time you have de-randomized something that turn.
Ooh,
So it's
that's
specific.
good.
So it's specifically on your opponent's turn. If you have de-randomized things, it gets cheaper. And the reason why I want it to be on your opponent's turn is because I don't want it to be on my turn before recovery, de-randomize a whole bunch of shit, recover, play my boss monster. I don't want that. I don't want that. um, Now it might serve a similar purpose, but I do think I think if I'm gonna have it be quick cast, I would want the cost discount to be on my opponent's turn. I don't know.
Yeah. Or you can play this card as if it had quick cast if you de-randomize something this turn.
Or if you've had, if you may play this card with quick cast if you've de-randomized a couple of things this turn already, like that.
Yep.
I could see that working, right? Something that pays off for her being able to stack up, and also the idea of, to me, hear me out on that one. There's a really good reason why this one that makes her God's Art so insanely good. Because it gives
on her J ruler
side, it gives you a reason to go pay 0 during my opponent's turn, have a turn of non-randomized stuff, choose, bam, boss monster. And it makes her J ruler side feel actually important, when back in the day the J ruler side was, well, I'm out of gas, guess I'll flip. For the most part.
Or frankly, like, flipping Olivia has never felt good. It gets
Ever.
you a stone, but it's never felt good.
Right.
So I'd be okay with a regalia or something like that, that sticks on the field to give her a little bit more of a reason to flip.
Yeah.
Does something when you have a J ruler, something like that would be really good, because a flipping Olivia feels awful.
I'm gonna go on a really weird.
She has barrier chant,
she has barrier
which
chant,
is not good.
Which is not good.
Not good.
So let's go talking about Brad. This is my boy Brad.
Yeah, you talk about Brad.
I have some theories about Brad. So First off, what he needs reprinted is pretty obvious. He needs Seal of Wind and Light reprinted. I know that seems weird, but I think it's a pretty easy one to reprint. Cancels aren't terrible.
Number 13.
Number 13. Yeah, number 13.
Yes.
Cancels aren't awful. They're just not great. So I think giving him...
they're balanced now.
They're balanced now. So I think number 13 is a pretty easy one to be able to give to him, to accelerate him. So that's one. I do think you want to reprint... it's gonna be weird. I think the Brad Resonator is nice as a potential reprint for him.
The one that buys back a sealed card. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think the Brad Resonator, no, not that one. Brad, the Masked Mage, I think is a pretty easy reprint for him. I think that plays nicely into him. I think
that's true.
Buys back. It's in color. He can play the green. They can play Crownstone to like do something similar. That seems very easy. And then again, if we're talking wind package, then he gets access to all of the witches a little bit easier. Then he can like play Witchbox Brad a little bit. That kind of also feeds to him too. And Pointy Hat Witch. I think Pointy Hat Witch is an easy like reprint for him, right? If we're talking about that same kind of status. What does Brad need? Y'all are gonna hate me
so much.
Y'all are gonna hate me so much with this card, with what I am talking about with this card. I'm gonna give Brad an untouchable spell. I know he green. Give him an untouchable thing. Let me be very, very clear. The untouchable thing is specifically a knowledge counter ramp. It is a knowledge counter accelerator. Boo this man. Boo. Yes. I know untouchable is an evergreen blue keyword. Brad is psychotic and is also gluttonous. So he wants everything. I think you give Brad an untouchable knowledge counter ramp spell. Please don't ever give him... No. Please hear what I just said. His finisher would not be untouchable. His enabler would not be... And his, like... Any new seal cards that I give him would not be untouchable. Absolutely not. I don't think that's good. I want specifically knowledge counter acceleration on him to be untouchable. That's it. That's the only one.
Or very hard to interact with.
Or very hard to interact with. So that he can comfortably do that. I want to give him a card. I want to let him... I need to give him a new Mysteries of. He needs a new Mysteries of spell. So it could even be Mystery of the Timeline or Mysteries of the Library or something. Something that like gives him a payoff in the same way that like Mysteries of
Welser.
Mysteries of Welser, like something, right? Theming wise, that needs to be his payoff. And then I need for a way for this man to be able to turn himself into a win con.
Yes. I was going to say that exactly.
I need Brad. I need the judgment of Brad to eventually become you die. That's what I think Brad needs. Right? Yeah. And I think that that serves the purpose for what I need from Brad. Like, I think that's what I need. I need like better knowledge counter acceleration, a new Mysteries that does something, and I need the judgment of Brad to be how we're winning the game.
Here's what I want for Brad.
X amount of knowledge counters you win. Yeah, something like that. Like easily.
Something like that. Like an extension rule, right? That'd be great. I want Brad to be a combo deck that is predicated on building tempo over the course of the game.
Okay.
I want a good tempo deck in Force of Will.
Yeah. I think to do that with him, you have to make it so he doesn't have to call stone. He doesn't have to tap to call stone. Because then you start like maybe feeding into like Mastery Brad, where he can like judgment and then like tap himself to play a spell or like be thrown under the bus to block something. Right? I think then you start to get into that kind of vibe. You know what would be really sick? You know what would be really sick?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think a really cool card for Brad would be a sub ruler. I hate the fact that it's a sub ruler, so then like it's interactable, but honestly, probably correct. Where when he judgments, you can burn knowledge counters to as he enters ramp a stone.
Oh, that's perfect.
Like
Yeah.
and it's not an enter effect. Keep in mind, I did not say it's an enter effect. It is as this card enters, it burns a stone. So like as you perform judgment, you can burn knowledge counters to get a stone. So then he's like progressing his value that way and can still play interactively. And I would trade that for being able to judgment while like not having to tap to call stone. Like I would trade that. I spy take notes for a set that you've already completed.
I would put one limiter on that and
Sure.
just say
Once per turn.
the first time your ruler named Brad would perform judgment, ramp a stone in rested.
Each turn.
I think
turn. Has to be recovered. Has to be recovered.
I also think you need to keep in mind we need to be able to kill him so we can judgment again, and I think you might need absorbing knowledge for that. I think that would be the appropriate card.
That's fair. That's fair. Or you can, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts about Brad.
Or his beast.
Or his beast.
His beast would also be fine.
Easy way. Yeah. Let's talk World Gang. We got a little bit of time left.
His sub ruler should be his lantern. Oh, that would be.
That'd be sick.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
That'd be sick. This card cannot lose its abilities. Make it not a fake card. We did it.
We did it.
We did it. Woo! Crack it. It's an untouchable fate trigger that can't lose its abilities.
Oh, and by the way, because we're getting Brad back, we have Brad Lua.
It's true.
In Paradox.
In Paradox.
So, hey,
yeah. Cool
that's
stuff.
great.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry.
Great card. Okay, let's talk about World Gang. I want Terminus reprinted. I think the idea of Terminus is a solid card for him to play around with. I don't want the Fallen Angel. What are they called? Demonic World? No. I don't want Brain. Where is it? I don't want Paradise.
Ooh, okay.
So I want Terminus. I don't want Paradise. I think there are other ways that you can protect Terminus that make it an actual like effort to. It's the same kind of concept of why I reprinted the way I did for Violet, where I want you to have to build the puzzle to then be able to play the old school win con. And I think there is an element of judgment, get the addition, get Terminus, kill you. That's just like that to me. I don't like it.
Too explosive.
It's a little bit too explosive. It's almost a little bit too easy for what I want Paradox to be. Right. So Terminus, yes. The addition, no. I tell you what Demonic Worlds I do want back is I do want Jewel. I do want Sixth Spoon. I want Sixth Spoon back. And also I would like where is it?
Residence?
No, Forest of Darkness.
Okay, that works.
I want Forest of Darkness back. I don't know. I like it. I like those three as our reprints. If we're talking about also another reprint, I could see you doing Residence, I suppose. But I'm not a super huge fan of that. In terms of what he needs new, obviously he needs a new Demonic World. I'm not entirely sure what that Demonic World does.
Revidra.
You could just have Revidra be the Demonic World. Yeah, that would make sense.
Would that be lore accurate?
Oil Pond,
the continent of Calorth.
I could see Oil Pond being a reprint for him. I could see that as well. It might be better with fewer. It might be the better one to grab for the reprint pile with fewer ones, so that Forest doesn't matter as much. That's a fair critique there. So he needs a new. Obviously, he needs a new Demonic World. or 2. I think you could give him 2 demonic worlds pretty easily. Um, I would love to see a demonic world that has mastery demonic worlds, like multiple demonic worlds. So like, if I have 3 demonic worlds on field, I could tap all 3 of them to play this card, or like gets 1 cheaper for every demonic world that you tap, that kind of thing. What else do I think I could bring in? Necronomicon Barrier, I actually think would be really nice to reprint into Paradox. Because hear me out, it messes with untouchable shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because sure, I can't mess with them while they're on their chase, but I can stop things from triggering. Oh, Alistair? Necro Barrier. Like let's bring that. Oh, Vacus, Necro Barrier. Like let's bring that back into the Paradox format. I think that could be really cool.
It's a good balancing tool with Untouchable in the format. We actually saw a lot of players gravitate toward that in Wanderer, just even recently, right? Near the end of last season, people were grabbing onto Necro Barrier, so that was good.
You don't want Six Boon in Paradox? The Symphony thing already annoys me in Wanderer. What do you mean?
Dripla can grab 6th boon because you have access to grab additions. I know because one of the people at my locals is doing it.
Interesting.
Yeah, did you know that?
I haven't played with Dripla at all, so no.
I know. So it's like, oh, this card actually makes Dripla kind of nice.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, one of those players was using Dripla to get Demonic Worlds as a package, which I thought was an interesting concept. It didn't end up proving to be very good quite yet, but if we get other Demonic Worlds, it might be a little bit better.
Sure, the player discards a card, then shuffles their deck.
Paul guy at my locals is doing it too. What?
Interesting.
Garrett, is that you?
It's not. It's not. Grab a lab. The problem is it goes to hand. So I'm like, I see it, I guess. So yeah, I think 2 new demonic worlds and a new demonic world payoff I think would be pretty easy. I think I actually am going to go out on a limb here. I think he needs 2 demonic worlds and a spot removal tool. I know that seems really weird, but like one of the demonic worlds could be a win con, I think. You could very easily alongside Turbulence make the demonic world a win con. There are so many quick cast things that mess with Wolfgang's searches that I think giving him a spot removal tool that's reunited with Wolfgang that lets him like play through those easier, I think is actually probably necessary for him. Like,
so doesn't he have that already in his kit? Because he has the 3-drop quick cast that gets cheaper with every demonic world you have. It removes a thing and draws you a card.
I think it needs to be a chant. Specifically.
It is a chant. It is a chant.
Demonic worlds.
It is not a demonic world. It is a darkness chant.
Oh, winds of the demonic world. Yeah, so that targets.
Yeah, so it doesn't work on Aegis stuff.
I'm talking about like price to pay style spot removal, where this thing can be used to hit anything that's going to stop me. Like so
like price to pay?
Well, but price to pay costs 3, so I want it to be specifically like in his color comp, like in his package, like for him.
Huh.
Like price to pay costs.
What are you worried about?
Let's name the things. Spirit of the Mirage Ruins.
Price to pay.
I'm not. That costs me 3 to cast, and my activate abilities cost me will to utilize. I need 1 cost thing to answer these things. It needs to be will neutral. Otherwise, it's not worth your time. Um, I think things that Witch of the Fallen Kingdom, we are literally talking about being anti-search. Any kind of thing that Muse staring at, like Muse staring at's different because it's just always going to resolve, but like, and then you just fail to find. But like, there's a lot of ways to disrupt Wolfgang's natural engine on floodgate bodies that I think he needs something to be able to answer them. Sorry. Another big one being, especially if we're going to go for an enter effect, the new white swordsman that can like re-trigger its enter effect to make it so my stuff can't re-trigger. That kind of stuff.
Oh,
therapist. Therapist is another huge one, right?
Yeah.
Like I want him to have something as a tribal deck that works on searching and cheat-ins to be able to keep up with these ways to stop him. That like
Sure.
to be able, otherwise he's unplayable. Like if your opponent sticks a turn 1 therapist and you're playing Wolfgang and he doesn't have a natural like built-in tool to be able to answer a therapist, you go, oh cool, good game. Like you just extend hand because you rely on your ruler ability, which you can't use under therapist, and you need things to have at races in deck, which you don't. So I think he needs something like that to be able to be competitive.
To be competitive, yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm hoping for in a masterpiece. Like we need to give him something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that takes us to the end, at least for now. Next week we can talk about the new Valhalla stuff. There's a lot of world to explore here. I'm very excited about Dimensional Hope. Don't get me wrong, when Dimensional Hope was first shown off, I was very sad that it wasn't Rhea. Like seriously, it's my favorite cluster outside of exclusively Lilia's Petal. So I was very sad that it's not here yet. But there is a lot of fun to be had in Saga Cluster and in New Valhalla Cluster. Oh, we are going to bring one other thing. That's a generic reprint that we both agree, specifically for Paradox, does need to be reprinted in Masterpiece 3. And that is Dark Alice Rabbit Princess. Specifically because as soon as it comes out, we lose Chubby Five-Tailed Fox for Paradox format. So
let's give Light more gas by reprinting Dark Alice Rabbit Princess.
That's true. You're right. That's a fair critique there, Joe. It was already reprinted in Masterpiece 1, so it seems unlikely that it will be Masterpiece 2 printed or Masterpiece 3 printed.
I have prepared for this.
I'm here for it.
I prepared. So what I think people forget is that although Dark Alice was designed with lenticular design in mind to be used in a variety of different decks as just a generic white card, it was also directly supporting Adam's sidecard.
That's true. That's true.
So that's why I'm like, I kind of feel like it's going to be reprinted, and it was also it was probably one of the most expensive generic support cards in Force of Will's history.
True.
And so just making more of it, I think just makes sense.
Can't hurt. With it being New Valhalla Cluster, I think there's what you said, like playing into Adam's Sidecard's package, I think is a very easy way for that to fit as well. No, Joe, you can't have a red Dark Alice. Leave. And by making you leave, I'm ending the show. So that's it for us for tonight. So thank you all so much for being here. Next week, we'll talk more about New Valhalla stuff and maybe the new CR if it drops this week. We'll see. Just a few pieces of housekeeping notes. This Wednesday, our first Paradox match of 2026 is going to be live. It is going to be Gilgamesh versus Lilith Kael'th. If you are a channel member, which I see some of you in the chat are not, you can join. It's very easy. You can watch that feature match tomorrow. Hey. Then we'll have deck profiles for those decks up later this week, and we will continue moving forward from there. Be sure to be sharing out the How to Start Playing video in 2026 with all your friends. That is now live, as well as make sure your stores know about the circuit kits and get your tickets in again for our good old Ruler School Foul Fest. Gonna want to make sure to get those tickets before they sell out. The high tier entry, there are only 60 total tickets for that, so you are going to want to make sure to get those. They did sell out last year in about a month, so we're 6 months out. We're 6 months out.
Get them while they're hot.
So get them while they're hot. But thank you all so much for being here. This has been myself, TMO73, and I've enjoyed, as always, by Waterboy #1, Paul Reisman.
Thank you to everyone who subscribed to Foul Archive. It's been a pleasure. Look for a new video this week.
Super excited there. Class dismissed. Have a good night, everybody.
See y'all.